Welcome back everyone, and welcome to Scotland.
So 8 weeks ago, we set ourselves a challenge to build the best camper van for winter travel. We've been on the road a week now, and so far, she's been doing us proud.
So far, we've been enchanted with Bonnie Scotland. So let's see what this week's got in store.
If you stop, you're dead.
I haven't gone completely doolally. Hoi, don't do that again. That was an absolute blast.
Potty mouth Jess is trying to get me killed, isn't she?
And oh my God, it's beautiful. Morning everybody, we've got a break in the rain, so we're making a dash for it.
Yeah, I reckon that you should come to Scotland in the summer because you can take your time to see all the natural beauty here and everything like that.
Yeah, but then you've got to come in the winter as well to feel the drama and the rugged, untamed beauty of it. It's amazing.
But you've just got to be like, right, it's stop, get out, see the site and get back in the van.
Which, talking of sites, we're at Ruthven Barracks, which was built in the early 1700s after the first Jacobite rebellion, and then was part of the second one as well.
Put the old drone up to try and get a shot, and now it won't fly back because the wind's that bad.
Yeah, but John, it nearly blew us over. Quick, quick.
I told you not to put it up.
I told you.
I tell you what, it's freezing out there.
But it is lovely and warm in here.
That's the best thing about this camper is that crawl through. So we don't use this side door. All we do is we get in through the front and come through here. So it just keeps all the heat in the back here. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So we've been testing the batteries. We've been parked up for the last day, doing lots of editing and things, and they worked a treat, didn't they?
Yeah, so we had both laptop chargers going, fridge on, all the electrics on and everything like that while we were editing. And yeah, it didn't drop below 60%, so...
And we did have a little bit of solar, but it's very rare for us to not drive for a day and a half. So
yeah.
Fingers crossed she'll be right. But the biggest win for me was the heating. So I turned it up to 21.5 when I got up in the morning, and the heater didn't kick back in until I was cooking dinner at night. So thermally, this van for the win.
Yeah.
But after that expedition, I need a hearty breakfast. So let's make some bacon sarnies.
On with a bit of van life admin today because we've got to fill up the old fresh water tanks. So we've got a 100 litre tank and we've made it last about 5 days. So if you don't know, if you can't get it on the road, all you've got to do is pull up the old campsites. Not everybody does it, but most of them do. And they'll let you just fill up with water and they'll charge you a little fee. So they've just charged a £5 to fill up. So it's ideal, and like I say, you can dump your rubbish and things like that. But one day I really want to do like a recirculation system in the shower, like run a few different filters and that. Because if we've got that sorted, I reckon we'd be able to go for ages without having to worry about filling up.
We've made it to Fort George. So we've had a lovely drive through the Cairngorms National Park to get here, and we're just outside of Inverness. And as we've headed further north, we've added more layers.
But I need to tell you, and Jess says I'm not allowed to tell you.
Aye.
So you know what that means, don't you? I'm going to tell you. But my new latest thing is to watch jokes on Instagram Reels.
No, none of them are appropriate.
And if you didn't know, right, in Australia you can swear on the radio and you can say plenty of inappropriate things. So there's this couple called, is it Fitzy and Whipper, isn't it?
It's not a couple, it's two men.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean is a couple of blokes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they do these jokes on Instagram and they did this one this morning.
No.
And it's...
No.
What do you call a Chinese baby that's born early?
No.
Shush! What do you call a Chinese baby that's born early? Suddenly. I've also got a second one. This one's
John,
even more brutal.
No, right. No.
Shush. What's worse than two girls running with scissors? Two girls scissoring with the runs.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
And they tell this on Australian radio, so go on, you Aussies.
I'm a bit concerned about where this cannon's pointing.
I'll tell you what, that would blow up suddenly, wouldn't it, Jess?
Oh.
Suddenly?
So Fort George was built just after the Battle of Culloden, and it was basically King George going, "Hoi, don't do that again." It is a massive military complex with huge ramparts. It was housed 1,600 soldiers. It's never actually been in any active conflict, but lots of soldiers have come through here on their way off to different wars for training, and it's still an active military base as well.
Now this is a beast. Look, we could turn the old trailer into a camper, Jess. One of my bucket list things to do is to own a telehandler, but Jess won't let me have one.
Where would you put it?
I don't know, but like, just look at them. They come in handy for all sorts. If there's one thing in life though that I sort of kind of regret, it's not going in the army really.
Really?
Yeah, because I always think I love the sort of the organisation, the discipline, the early starts, the PT training, the marching, all that sort of stuff. Like, I think it would have been right up my street really. Don't get me wrong, there'd be loads of things that people telling you what to do all the time. I wouldn't have liked that.
You would not do well with that.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something about like loads of lads together, like all in the same sort of thing.
You would have got up to so much trouble.
Well, that's the thing. Like the army are renowned for being like the practical jokers, and when lads get together, well, you know what happens. You know what I mean? Most of the things can't get repeated really, and I think the army would have been especially years ago when you could have done anything as well.
Yeah,
I suppose.
before it got recorded.
Yeah, nowadays you wouldn't be able to do anything without getting in trouble. But I bet they had some good times back in the day anyway.
Yeah. It was worth a go. If you're wondering why I'm going around touching up rocks, I haven't gone completely doolally. That's how they time travel in my favourite TV series, Outlander. And if you haven't watched it, oh my goodness, I'm so jealous. You've got 7 series to go and binge watch. Thank me later. But we've just got to Culloden Moor, which is one of the key parts of the story. So before I tell you any more about what happened here, let's get rugged up. So this is Culloden Moor, and it's the site of the last battle ever fought on British soil. It also tragically marks the end of the Highland way of life, because after the Battle of Culloden, the Highlanders were all disarmed, tartans were banned, and even playing the bagpipes was made illegal.
Whenever we come to like history places like this, we always like try and picture it, what it was like when back then, and like I think this would have just been an absolute bog, eh?
Absolutely awful. The Battle of Culloden happened in April, so it would have been the end of winter as well. And this is a moor, so there would have been bogs and mud and blood just everywhere.
Yeah, and I always think like with hand-to-hand combat like there was here, it's not like you can just say halfway through like, "Oh wait there, mate, like I'm just having my tea break," you know what I mean, or something like that.
They must have been exhausted.
Yeah, you just have to keep going because if you stop, you're dead. Like,
yeah.
So.
And they'd already retreated all the way from Derby up to Inverness. They must have been absolutely knackered before they even started.
And also there's a row of flags here. So there's a blue row where the Highlanders were and a red row where obviously the English were, which gives you a bit more of an idea, and just like facing off against it.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's just incredible.
Incredible. So we were supposed to go out for dinner, but we couldn't be bothered. So you know what they're saying, Gavin and Stacey? Somebody order a Chinese!
All right, Alan, get in.
In all seriousness though, right? I'm in there waiting for my order. They're like, order for McLeod, McDonald, Menzies. Could it be more Scottish? Let's get this in our bellies.
We got a feast.
Yeah, boy, we don't mess about. Oh. Smashed it.
I'm onto the cheesecake already.
He's a savage, honestly. Would not believe the food that boy puts away.
But you know my favourite thing about getting takeaway? Is I don't have to wait for Jess. Because she's the world's slowest eater as well as the noisiest one.
I'm not a slow eater or a noisy eater.
So,
you're just a savage that hoovers your food.
And you know my favourite restaurant that you go to is the one where you pay when you order your food. So you don't have to wait at the end, like getting your check at the end and paying for it, because it always takes so long. We just get out of there. So I crack the whip with her to get finished and then we go.
He's an absolute nightmare, honestly. But you've lied to the people.
What?
It's not your favourite restaurant. His favourite restaurant is an all-you-can-eat buffet.
No, yeah, true.
So mine too, to be fair. But anyway, I have a serious food coma coming on, so I'll see you in the morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
So we're on with the comments from last week's video because it's, what day is it? Saturday.
Saturday.
And some of them are absolute gold.
Some of them cannot be repeated, but my belly hurts from laughing.
One of my best ones so far, though, is obviously, you know, last week's video, I gave you that special treat. Do him a wink, Jess, do him a wink. But we got a comment about that. Tell them what that was.
Oh, yeah. John, mate, thanks for the morning view. My wife loved the bum rise.
But yeah, that is, like we said before, one of our favourite things, just sitting down and getting the comments. But we've had an unsubscriber.
We have.
And you still might be watching, and all I need to say is you just need to lighten up a bit, mate. So he said he's unsubscribed because last week's video I was taking the mick out of the Scottish accent, which, to be honest, I'm a bit offended about myself because how do you know? Like, how do you know I'm not Scottish? That Scottish accent was that good. I could be Scottish, but yeah, like it's probably not the channel for you, mate, because we do
like to have a laugh.
Yeah, and we do imitate accents quite a bit, but it's all for the banter, really. You know what I mean? But so in this world now, it's so much worry about offending people. Like Jess is the worst for it. I don't really care that much, but she's always worrying that we're offending people. Like when I was doing them jokes, like the suddenly, she was thinking we were going to offend Chinese people, and then she even thought we was going to offend the lesbians with a scissor joke. You did.
I did not.
But
just thought it was a terrible joke. That one I wasn't worried about offence.
But anyways, all you got to know is if we're ever taking a mick, it's all just a bit of fun and games anyway.
Yeah,
don't take it too serious. Yeah. Get up.
Ugh. So we're just about to head into Inverness, but I wanted to show you our park up for the night. How's this for a view from your window? Not bad, eh? The old Scottish, they love a park up. And...
Hey, don't you be making my Scottish words.
Well...
You offend people.
Anyway, we're only 10 minutes outside Inverness and we've got a park up like this. 10 out of 10, eh?
10 out of 10. We might get a bit of copyright for this because they might think that I'm playing the original song, but are you ready for this one? You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for ye.
Well, we've made it to Inverness and it's all ready for the win because you can park for 3 hours in the city centre for £2 and the van can get in.
But potty mouth Jess is trying to get me killed, isn't she?
What?
So we're in the van and this grizzly Scotsman comes walking by to get in his van beside us. Yeah, he looked like he'd been chewed by a wasp, be like proper mean looking. And Jess goes, I'll wait till this grumpy gets out the way. But the thing is, the cab's so like thin and things like that, like you can hear everything in the front of the cab. And this bloke, you know what I mean?
It's fine. He was fine about it. Anyway, let's have a look around Inverness. So last stop on our lovely little wander around Inverness is Leakey's bookshop, and it's world famous because apparently it's really cute and quaint inside, and I love a second-hand bookshop. You might not see John looking so impressed though, because fun fact, he's never read a book in his whole life, he just looks at the pictures.
Why would I read the book when I can watch the film? Tell you what, I'm not a book fan, but that was beautiful, that was, wasn't it?
It is gorgeous, yeah.
But it's not that I don't actually like reading books. Like, I try to read books, but I get like a paragraph in and my mind wanders on something else, so I have to read the paragraph in again, and like it just literally takes me ages just to read one page. So
yeah, I even bought him like Guy Martin's bibliography once because I wondered whether it was like something he was really interested in, but you still struggled with that, didn't you?
yeah, whereas you can't put books down.
I'm not allowed to read novels unless I'm on holiday, because otherwise I'm still reading with like one eye open at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but I do have a hot tip for you. You cannot beat Lonely Planet guides. I always buy mine secondhand as well, because I use blogs for like up-to-date information, and you always check the opening times on a website and stuff. But yeah, Lonely Planet guides for the win for all your travel planning. So we've got lunch on the go today because we've got a beautiful Scottish day and we want to make the most of it because we're off in search of Nessie. Well, we've made it to Loch Ness and oh my god, it's beautiful. It's genuinely taken my breath away. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'd always thought of Loch Ness as just about Nessie and the monster. But
you know what? I thought the same thing. I thought it was more about Loch Ness monster rather than the loch itself.
Yeah, I mean, the loch is so impressive and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, but you know what gets me? The toilets. Now, I find myself, right, whenever I go to the public toilet now, when I'm having a pee, my mind wanders a little bit, and I look at the tiling, right, and I assess the tiling, how good it is, and they've got some good tiling in there, all the lines are nice and straight, because sometimes you go to the toilet and they've got them way off and the gaps aren't square and everything like that, right? But my new fascination as well is round the urinal. Sorry ladies, you probably won't get this one, but round the urinals, right, they silicone all the way around it. And how they get such a good job, I'll never know. So if there's any urinal siliconers out there, how do you get such a good finish? Because yeah, just stupendous.
So I brought you to one of the most magical, beautiful places in the world, and you're talking about the silicone on the urinals.
The men of the industry will like it, I'm telling you.
Just so sorry.
Some women too.
But anyway, we're checking out Loch Ness from Urquhart Castle, and it looks amazing. So I'm so excited to have a little look around. I've got a way to find her. Are you ready? Oh, Nessa! What's occurring? I know it's the wrong country, but she might have a Welsh sister. Right, come on then. Here, Nessie, Nessie, Nessie.
Should we push her in?
Don't you dare. It might never freeze, but this loch is a sunny 6 degrees all year round. It doesn't freeze because it's so deep as well. It's 227 metres deep. That is deep. Do you like my friend? This is Henrietta. Get it?
You know what gets me though, look, the coo's all fenced off, but the boar, obviously nobody's interested in the boar. You didn't even pat the boar.
I didn't pat the boar, but I did pat the coo.
See what I mean? Poor boar, go pat the boar.
Okay, I'll pat the boar. Sorry, Will.
Poor boar.
Poor boar. Well, Loch Ness is absolutely stunning.
Tell you what, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the loch was absolutely beautiful, and it was even better than the castle there.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say the castle is an amazing viewpoint for it, isn't it? It's kind of like the perfect framing for the loch. But like we wouldn't have gone if we didn't have that Go Explore Pass or Explorer Pass, whatever it's called, from Historic Scotland. So definitely worth getting one of those if you're going to come. But yeah, just magic, proper take my breath away. But tonight, there is the most exciting thing that I've wanted to tick off my bucket list for years. John's not so excited, he's gonna have to grin and bear through it. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is, you just gonna have to wait and see. We're going to a ceilidh and I can't wait. Haven't brought any nice clothes though, so I'm wearing daggy old jeans and my runners. We're at the Far Community Hall for their St Andrew's ceilidh and I am excited.
Introducing Twinkle Toes herself.
Ta-da! That was an absolute blast. I loved it. And not only did our £8 ticket include the whole ceilidh, it included Scottish stovey, I think you say it. So we got dinner and fresh baked cakes and teas and coffees.
So Jess did all her dancing and we got sat with these two lovely ladies and they filled me in on all the Scottish attire and what it's called and everything like that.
And they taught me to dance as well.
Yeah, so yeah, it was brilliant.
I had an absolute blast. But my absolute favourite bit had to be all the little kids who were way better at dancing than me in their little tartans and their kilts and stuff. So yeah, I'm a very happy girl. I think it's time for bed.
See you in the morning.
Morning everybody. I think it was a bit of a frosty one last night. Morning everybody. We were definitely right. It is a frosty morning, but we stayed nice and cosy in the back last night still.
But you know where we're not cosy? In the front of the cab. I think the thermostat's jammed open, so the engine temperature's not getting up to temperature. So it's a bit cool in here anyway.
It's not so toasty in the front here.
But we've got an engine preheater on order, so that's going to be there when we get back. And then we've got to make an engine grille cover as well. So then obviously when we're in minus 25, 20, whatever it's going to be, the engine can get to temperature then. So we'll do that when we get back.
But it's lucky we came up to Scotland to test it out, because imagine finding this out in Norway. So we're going to do a whole bunch of little upgradey bits, like changing out the washer fluid and everything. So we'll show you everything we do before we set off. But today we've woken up with no plan. But we've had a recommendation from Jack, thank you Jack, for a beautiful road to drive in the northern Cairngorms. So we're going to go and check that out. And if it's rubbish, you can blame Jack too. But I did want to say thank you so much for all your recommendations of things to see and do. If we don't make them on this trip, we'll definitely do them again because they've gone on the list and we've got to come back, haven't we?
We've already decided we're going to come back in the summer on the bike, so that'll be brilliant. So, yeah.
I think there'll be multiple trips to Scotland. I cannot believe we've lived here all this time and not come here, hey?
But I'm a bit distracted because of where we are, so shall we show them where we are?
I think we'd better. We've made it to the snow, and I know that we might be a bit sick of the sight of this in 2 months' time, but for me, the snow will never get old, and there's only one thing to do. Speaking of snowballs, we've discovered a Scottish delicacy delight, the snowball. It is sponge cake with jam in the middle. I give the jammy bit to John, covered in coconut. Banging.
Needs a bit more jam in it, so you're gonna have to make some of these.
Yeah,
loads of jam.
Do you know what they'd be good with? Custard in the middle.
Oh, yes.
So we've just been on a tour of Dalwhinnie Distillery, and I'm really sorry we couldn't take you with us, but they said that we couldn't film for safety reasons. They did say I could take a few photos though, so I'll drop those in for you. But it was absolutely brilliant. We rocked up and they said there was no room left on the tour at 3 o'clock, but they'd let us go on an express tour. So they gave us free whiskey tastings, free tour and free chocolate and a little glass to take away. So that was brilliant. And they talked us through all the process, and I have to say that I think Scotch whiskey is something I could get used to. Absolutely delicious. I've never had it before. John put his nose in the glass a little too fast and made his eyes water, but it was all good fun. But I'm really sorry, we're going to have to leave you there this week because we've run out of time. Make sure you come back next week as we explore more of this beautiful country.